Hello everybody and welcome to a new video. A new dinosaur has released into Path of Titans and this is Tyrannotitan. It's currently 6 AM, so let's get into talking about this one. This is a brand new mega theropod dinosaur to come to the game officially. This originally was a paid dinosaur, however now it is free due to community feedback. I'll talk a little bit about that at the end of the video because I feel like some things need to be addressed there. That being said, this is the brand new creature to come to the game. Let's talk about it, shall we? So, firstly, when you look at the species for this dinosaur, you've got Tyrannotitan. This model is absolutely gorgeous. This will be the third apex carnivore officially in the game's roster, the first carcharodontosaurid dinosaur in the game's roster. This is Tyrannotitan tubertensis, which is plus 10% venom and bleed healing, and then you move into Carolini, which is based off Giganotosaurus, I believe, which is plus 5% bleed damage. Then you move into the final one, which is Tyrannotitan grandis, which is plus 10% health recovery. When you look at the male, this is the male on the default skin, and this is the female. It's the display colorations that get duller, a lot duller. I feel like that's going to be the theme throughout with all the skins. So let's go ahead in game, check this out, and talk about it, starting with the baby. So here we are in game with the Tyrannotitan, the baby Tyrannotitan. This thing, I quite like it as a baby. I think it's really cute. It's got a very bouncy step. But yeah, this seemingly was the dinosaur that the developers were alluding to in terms of the next dinosaur to come to the game, which they were teasing. So, of course, here it is compared to the Rex baby. You're going to get a good general theme of size here. It's going to be a little bit smaller than Rex, looking at that when it is a full-grown adult. But in terms of damage, let's talk about this. So, when you're a baby, you get a standard bite attack. There it is right there, there's the animation for it, and of course, damage-wise, baby to baby, this is how much it does on the Rex. Now, if you want to have a good idea of how much damage the Rex does to you, to get a good comparison here as a baby, this is how much damage a base Rex does. So it's pretty much almost on par. Now, one thing that's very important about this dinosaur is this is an apex bleeder. As you can see, you're doing bleed damage to the Rex. That's one thing that is very important to know. This is a dinosaur that will rely on bleed tactics, and if you've played Allosaurus, two things are very important there. You need to manage your bleed levels on the opponent, and you also need to make sure your stamina is in check. So this is definitely going to be one of those dinosaurs. Anyways, the baby calls. So of course, when you go into the abilities of this dinosaur, it quickly becomes apparent that this is a bleed specialist, and this is very evident when you look at the head slots and the sensors. This is when bleed becomes most important to this creature. So of course, you've got your bite, which causes high damage, but we did also see on the baby Rex it also caused bleed. I don't know if that's a bug, but it did cause bleed, and we're gonna have a see if it does that again at adult. Then you go to your second attack, which is Frenzied Tear, which is a low damaging attack that increases for every hit you land. Deals 30% increased damage to bleeding targets. So this is an attack that you need to combo with a bleed attack. So ideally, normal head attack, Frenzied Tear, you've got that combo there, looking at it from first impressions. Then you go to your heavy bite, which will be a strong but delayed bite. Very important to know, this one will not do any bleed. You move into your sensors now. So you've got Blood Soaked, which each of your bite attacks now apply a Blood Soaked to yourself. Increases your stamina recovery by up to 100%. Blood Soaked will deplete over time and quickly wash off if wet. Now it does say that Blood Soaked increases your stamina recovery while covered in your opponent's blood. That's really cool, and that's one of the things that you'll need to manage. Stamina. and this might be one of the keys to managing that. Feast, of course, is for Heavy Bite. Heavy Bite's damage is reduced by 50%, but it now tears meat from the target and applies the wounded status. This reduces bleed healing by 20% per stack, up to 3 stacks. Eating the torn off meat will restore a bit of your health and stamina for 20 seconds. It does not work if you are bleeding. So a hard counter there to stop this from doing Feast is to ensure that Tyranno is bleeding. The classic bleeder versus bleeder, but I guess you can't beat fire with fire, can you? So let's move into the next one. You've got Fresh Blood, which is the same ability Allosaurus has, meaning that this thing is going to be very strong around bleeding targets. This increases the attack by 10% when within 50 meters of a bleeding creature. That's insane. Then, of course, let's go to the metabolism. You're only a hyper carnivore, you can only eat fresh meat. For the hide, you've got Dried Blood, which allows blood soak to deplete 3 times slower. You've got Rugged Hide, which increases bleed heal, fracture heal, poison heal, venom heal, and toxin heal by 40%. And Thick Scoots, which improves health recovery rate by 20%. Of course, then we go to our legs. Nimble Feet, which is Dash and Juke, gain 25% faster cooldowns. 2 mobility abilities we're going to be talking about in a second. Skydiver, which takes 40% reduced fall damage, and Strong Legs, which takes 60% less knockback and 15% increased fracture healing. Of course, we move to our backline now. You've got Dash, which is a quick dash forward in a line. Then you've got Juke, which allows you to rapidly turn in place. Obviously, we've seen this ability before. It allows you to change direction and get out of attacks. You go to your tail, you've got a tail attack, which is an attack that causes light damage and causes knockback. How cool is that? That's pretty cool, definitely. Now we move into the next one, which is the attacks, the vocal calls. Blood Chilling Roar, which reduces bleed heal for all ungrouped creatures within 50 meters by 35% for 120 seconds. And Running Start, which is a call that ignores uphill speed reduction and increases downhill speed for 2 minutes. Must be standing still to use. So this is kind of like, I believe, is it Braced Legs or is it one of the other ones that ignores uphill movement? This will allow you to chase dinosaurs down like Lambeosaurus, that has that ability where they can run faster uphill or downhill. Of course, you've got Terrifying Presence next, which reduces all incoming damage by 15% for 60 seconds. This dinosaur is stacked with attacks. Let's go ahead and showcase them all, shall we, on this Tyrannosaurus Rex and show how it competes with that big Rex in terms of damage, because that's what you might be fighting a lot of as a hard counter, a hard opponent, or you're going to be facing Spinos, Bars, Eos, stuff like that. So let's go ahead and showcase the abilities off, shall we? So of course, there we have it. That's the main attacks that you have. Now let's showcase them on the dinosaur, on the Rex, because, you know, as I said, you'll be facing Rexes quite a bit, as this is being, you know, the main competitor now on land to the Rex in game. You had Spino before, but that was semi-aquatic, and now you've got another Apex Carnivore hard counter that's pretty much the same size. This thing looks menacing when you look at it in the face, by the way. Look at it. It's got such big, long snout. It's like the dog meme with the Borgios. I don't know the name, but you get what I mean. You know, let me do it for you. That kind of thing. Right, of course. Let's talk about these attacks really quickly and showcase them off on this Rex. We're going to be doing body hits. It's a standard bite attack. This does about 34 seconds of bleed to the Rex, and of course a little bit of damage. It's not that much damage when compared to the Rex. I'm going to do a quick comparison right now and get the Rex to bite me, and then showcase to you how much damage that Rex will be doing to me. So of course the Rex will be doing a lot more damage, but for the Rex, that is hard damage, as in no bleed. So you move into your next attack, which will be your Frenzied Bite. This is the one that stacks with each hit, and a very important ability for you to use. So here it is, of course. So that does about a handful of swift hits. You've got a 5-second cooldown there, and it stacks with every hit. As you can see, it's still not that much damage overall when you're doing it to the Rex compared to a standard Rex bite attack. I feel like the Rex will be out damaging you in this sense. Let's move to the next bite, which is the heavy bite, and this could be the one where you get the more damage from. Now bear in mind that frenzied bite does not do any bleed by the looks of it. Did it say it does bleed? No, but it increases damage on bleeding targets. So actually, let's really quickly give that a quick example. Let's heal this Rex, and let's damage it a little bit, get it bleeding a little bit. Okay, it's got 40 seconds of bleed. Now let's combo that frenzied bite on it. As you can see, quickly it becomes evident that it does do a bit more damage when it is bleeding, which is actually one of those things that's very important. Looks like you're going to be heavily bleeding your opponents to death here. Now, the heavy bite. This is the one that will do more damage. Here it is. There you go. That is a lot of damage. However, of course, one thing that is very, very clear, you can change this ability to be a feast ability. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to set my health to be a little bit lower. So there we go. We've got very little health now, or halfway roughly in terms of health. And we're going to do the frenzied bite. And now we've got this meat chunk. Now, in terms of how much health it will give back, let's have a quick look. You get 20 seconds of the feast ability. Now, this will not apply this if you are bleeding, so bear that in mind. And as you can see, it goes up pretty slowly. This is very similar to the Deinonychus Slicer ability. A very, very important ability for Deinonychus. I can see this being a very important ability for Tyrannotitan, the new Titan in the game. By the way, guys, I feel like we should be calling this geezer a Titan instead of Tyranno, because we've got Tyranno there and T-Rex, but come on, Titan sounds so cool, does it not? Anyways, of course, moving into the next stuff, the tail attack, because I believe this is the last one that we have. So the last aggressive ability that you have, aside from your vocal calls and everything, is the tail attack indeed. And this is what the tail attack does to your opponent. Very little. It does a little bit of knockback, however. Knockback, of course, is kind of quintessential in the game right now. And I'm going to test this charge thing. It does no damage upon impact. Okay, so it's just a charge forward in a straight line to get a quick bit of distance between you and your opponents. That's probably very important to know there. The other thing that is quite important to know is the utilization of Juke. Now, Juke, I think, is a very important ability because it allows you to quickly turn, maybe running away or landing a surprise hit. You know, if we were to just really quickly have our back to the dinosaur or the Rex, just say, for example, this Rex is disconnected and, you know, we're showing off our skills on it. Quick juke, one tap with a bite, and then you can get out of there. I don't know how that's going to work in practice, but I'm pretty sure very skilled players will be able to utilize that to its full maximum potential. Now, one other thing that I really want to showcase about this dinosaur is Blood Soaked. Now, Blood Soaked is apparently one of these things that will up your stamina recovery rate by quite a bit. So let's set our stamina to 0. Now we're going to apply Blood Soak to ourselves. So every time we cause a creature to bleed and do a bleed attack on a creature like this Rex, we quickly become covered in its blood. And apparently this will help with our stamina recovery. So now we're fully done there. This is the stamina recovery that you have. Let's do it sat down because that's when you get your most out of it. Now, of course, very important thing here, this looks absolutely metal. Another thing to note, of course, this will wear off in the rain. Blood Soaked is a brand new visual ability, it looks, and this thing looks sick. I absolutely love it a ton. The red blood covering this thing. Either way, this thing looks absolutely metal. Let's do a roar when it's doing that. What about this? Oh, that's so cool. I love the vocal abilities on this. I love how animated this thing is. This is a brand new creature to come to the game. And yeah, I'm very excited by this. I'm obviously very late to covering this because it released at 1 AM my time. I kind of expected it to release around 1 AM my time. And I was asleep. Of course, they always do it. They catch me lacking every time. In terms of everything else, you've got these abilities here which are going to be quite important to you, and of course these ones which are going to be very important as well. Faster cooldowns for, you know, dash and juke if you want to utilize them, skydiving reducing fall damage, which is a weird thing to have for an Apex, and then strong legs, knockback resistance, increased fracture healing. For your sensors, of course, you've then got fresh blood, which does so much more damage when you are near a bleeding creature. So maybe you combo that with the frenzied bite and the head attacks. Then you've got, you know, fresh blood with that bleeding build. You're going to be doing more damage because you've got frenzied bite near a bleeding creature. Then you're going to be doing even more damage because you've got fresh blood near a bleeding creature. That's actually going to be maybe a new meta. We'll see how people do this. So of course, let's really quickly talk about the skins for this dinosaur, because this thing has quite a few. Now, a couple of them are paid. The first 3 are paid, aside from the default skin. So this is the default skin right here. A very, very nice skin. A glorious skin right there. You go into your paid ones, you've got the backer one, which I'm not going to lie, might be my favorite backer skin. This is the most detailed backer skin. It is insane. You got the scorched skin next. Very, very nice skin overall. Then you've got the bloodthirsty skin. Another very, very nice skin overall. These 2 here are from the scorched, I believe, skin pack. So you have to buy them. Now, originally, this is what Tyrannotitan was going to be in. A pack with these skins. I think it was 3 skins, 4 skins, I'm not sure. You got the backer skin with it as well, and Tyrannotitan. I think that was the original plan that they were intending to do there as a post-launch creature. Now, the reason why I say post-launch creature, we're moving into some more skins here, is because this was not the mystery dinosaur. So my prediction as the mystery dinosaur was wrong. If we want to predict that as my prediction for the next dinosaur and change the goalpost, then I was correct. But I was wrong with it being the mystery dinosaur. This is not the mystery dinosaur. This is the canyon skin, another gorgeous skin, by the way. And then you've got Glory. Then you've got Dusk. Then you've got Amona. I really like the skin. This is a really nicely put together skin. The oranges, the blacks. We know I love that stuff. And then Tragopan. This thing's really pretty. Really, really pretty. Damn. Then Albino. This is actually probably one of the best albino skins. Look at the pattern changes on that. I love how they're having the subtle purples being a bit more like coming out at you now. I think it's very nice. As for the melanistic skin, you can see with the slight coloration there, the changes. Another really nice melanistic skin. Okay, so it's a little bit later now, so I can talk about this on less of a lower tone. I do apologize earlier when I recorded this first. It was 6 a.m. and I didn't want to wake anybody, so we had to be quite quiet, or try and be. So there is something I do want to talk about. This dinosaur originally was going to be a paid dinosaur, and I think everybody kind of who was awake when it released knew that. I wasn't awake when I knew it. I only know that because people have told me. Now, there was a lot of backlash because of that, and that resulted in the developers changing their mind and then making it free for everyone, which hats off to the developers for listening to the community there and the outrage or the upset that the community may have had there. Now, in my eyes, I can understand why they did it. I don't agree on the fact that they done it with the teasers building up to it. I feel like we should have had a bit of forewarning before they dropped a paid dinosaur, saying that, hey, this is the direction that we need to go in terms of helping fund. Not every dinosaur will be paid, but some dinosaurs will be paid, kind of thing. For example, this one. But because it was sprung on so early, I can understand the frustration, and without any like proper forewarning before it even happened. The other thing that I do want to say really quickly is that I am utterly disappointed with the community itself. Waking up this morning to see that the developers have been harassed and received so much death threats within the Discord server is something that is damn right disgusting as a whole. I don't think this is something that people should be proud of, and I do not think this should be something that people should go to as a last resort, or any resort. If you're resorting to death threats to someone, you should put the phone down, the computer down, and walk away. You should never be resorting to that. And it's very, very upsetting that people in the community have gone to lengths to do that. Harassment, bullying, death threats should never be tolerated. And as a community, I feel like it should be important for us to prevent that from happening. Now, I did want to mention that because, well, there was a lot of discourse about this, and I have been asked for my opinion there. That being said, that is a Tyrannotitan. This is a beautiful dinosaur. I will be streaming this one later today. I won't be streaming it straight when this video comes out, because the reason why I'm up early filming this is because I'm up early anyways to go and film some stuff, personal stuff. So, yeah, I'll be filming this in the afternoon, streaming this in the afternoon for you all. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts about this new behemoth in the comments down below. Very excited to see your opinions. Tyrannotitan, brand new dinosaur in the game, and it's finally here. Definitely a Christmas surprise. Anyways, let me know your thoughts. I'll see you on the next one. I'm going to edit this up while very tired. Have a great day. Peace.